Well, hello, everyone. I'm Gwen Preston of Resource Maven, and this is another backstage interview from the Metals Investor Forum. We're a few days after the event, and I'm joined by Leo Hathaway of Golden Shield. And Leo and I actually recorded an interview at the event, and then Golden Shield went and put out some news on Monday that justified re-recording, I think, because there was a pretty hot intercept in there. So, Leo, why don't you start by telling us what that intercept was, and then the grade and length aren't unknown for this deposit, but they're quite different from the historic resource for this deposit. So let's talk about that. That's the thing that I want to dive into here.
Okay, so the drill hole was hole number 4 that was 50 meters at 9.1 grams. When we spoke previously, this is the situation. We'd released hole 3, which you can see also had a new zone outside the resource of 9.75 grams at 11.9. Sorry, 9.75 meters at 11.9 grams. Hole 4 was drilled below it, and these were the results. 50 meters at 9.1 grams. It isn't a true thickness. We thought this slab continued steeply to the left of the diagram, but it folded on us, and so we went down this limb and got that intercept. All of that was outside the existing resource, so despite not being a true thickness, it's still pretty significant. To answer your question on the grade, the historic resource was modeled as an open pit, so a 0.5 cutoff grade was applied. Mm-hmm. We're thinking of this deposit more as an underground mine, and most of the material here is pretty high grade, so if you model it as say a 2-gram cutoff or something that might be appropriate for an underground mine, I don't think you would lose that many ounces. And we certainly feel that we're adding ounces here because, as I say, we keep hitting these intercepts that are outside of the current resource.
And this 50 meters of 9 grams, is that what it was roughly? I mean, that's, like I say, not unheard of. There had been intercepts like that previously, but those things their impact is diluted when you try and jam what you have into an open pit. And also, is there also simply a factor of depth and grade? Like, are you expecting grades to improve as you go deeper, or is it too early to know?
It's too early to know, and we're not sure about that. On a previous section, if I just jump back to section 2 on the map in the top right, section there.
Look at there.
Section 2. In hole number 2, we found this new zone where we really didn't expect it to be in the footwall, 43 meters at 1.39 grams, with a higher grade intercept in it. But this yellow unit we call the QMC, the quartz metachert, and it looks like it might fold back on itself, and that was not discovered by the previous drilling. So this could be a whole new limb to a fold that was previously unrecognized. And these kind of grades aren't as high as the ones from the previous hole we were talking about, but they tend to be on the periphery of the system in the current drilling. So the thought here is we might just be on the edge of a new high grade zone, and that's what we're going to go back and test with the next round of drilling.
And I mean, that sort of leads to the next thing, on the edge of a new high grade zone that previous explorers didn't find. You liked this deposit or this project initially because it did have some very good historic intercepts. It had this resource, so you knew there was a gold endowment, but it was really very underexplored, right? Like there's a huge part of this land position that has barely been walked by a prospector or geologist. You guys are in the middle of that process now. You've defined lots of other targets that deserve attention, and one of those you've already drilled, right? And so that's the next thing that's coming out, is the first of the non-resource targets, Toucan Creek, right?
Yeah, so you're right. Mazoa Hill was the kind of known resource and had the grades that got us interested, and told us the potential of the system, I think. And you can see from the previous drilling pattern here that was more or less north-south. The fact that there might be a new zone opening up in the footwall is an unexpected happy surprise for us. So Mazoa Hill is turned into something that we can now expand, for sure. If I just flip ahead here a little bit, Toucan Creek is the second area we drilled, which you can see up here. This is the first derivative mag in the background. And these are the various targets that we've defined, that principally around the camp. The camp is located just here.
Right.
So these are really easy access from the camp. And as you said, we haven't got to a lot of the more distant areas from that central camp, but we will get there. And these are the 6 holes that we've drilled at Toucan Creek that have not been released yet. The red dots are surface samples. The yellow dots are drill collars and the traces of the holes. So this is 1.5 kilometers away from Mazoa Hill, but these are the results that will be coming out, I hope, in the next week or two, really testing what is under those high-grade samples. But we also see similar rocks at surface, the QMC, et cetera, that we see at Mazoa Hill. So we're excited about that, and that's the first of 8 targets that we're going to just systematically work our way through.
Right. And you say similar rocks on surface. I like how you describe that, how you have described that to me previously. It's quite a distinctive sort of, that's QMC rock, that's the host, is quite distinctive, and you saw it just blatantly there at Toucan Creek.
Yeah, that's right. It's a white, blocky quartzite looking unit that just, I think, has some porosity and just soaks up the mineralization when it's crossed by feeder structures, and you see fairly large pyrite cubes within it that occur with gold. It's quite a enigmatic looking rock, and we see that at Toucan Creek. So that's what we were sampling there. That's
why you're really there. You love cubey pyrite and odd geologic things. So that's your real interest. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Okay, so Golden Shield, still newly listed company. You've already put out what a really successful first drill program at Mazoa Hill, because the goal there was sort of to first of all, to remind people, or to let people know that you had this asset, that it had this opportunity, and you did that. You produced a bunch of drill results that cover the span of the historic drill results. So it's a good sort of capture of what is there, while also expanding the known envelope. Now you've got Toucan Creek in the pipes, because you also did that as part of your first drill program. You're also about to start drilling again. Dare I ask, where are you going to go first with that when the drills start turning again?
We're going to go back to Mazoa Hill, because I think we're obligated to figure out what is going on here, and what is going on here, and if this does actually fold back on itself, or mineralization extends to depth, that's a whole, that makes it essentially wide open to depth and to the east, and so we need to follow that up.
Fair enough. And then after that, you'll have to figure out what priority to put all the other targets in.
Yeah, and at that point, maybe we might need a second drill, but that will be a happy problem to have.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I look forward to the results from Toucan Creek, and congrats on a fantastic hit at Mazoa Hill. I'm sure it felt good to see that number, which was the kind of number that had enticed you to this project in the first place.
Yeah, it was, not unexpected, but it was nice to see.
All right. Well, thanks, Leo, and nice to catch up with you. I look forward to doing it again soon.